So today we're going to be looking at ticker symbol NFLX for Netflix, and we've already put up most of the resistance lines for Netflix, and we're going to be looking at what sort of price actions we can expect after Netflix's amazing earnings report that just came out yesterday. I got a notification for that, so I thought, why not take a closer look at Netflix to see if it's a good time to maybe open up a position in this great company. Right now, we are sitting at around a pre-market of $500. But since then, we have moved up to the $549 price range, kind of breaking out of that old resistance of what was it, around $540, which is a great sign for Netflix. We're not touching the lows, and because Netflix is a Corona stock, because everybody's in lockdown and they just want to watch movies, TV shows, just to pass the time. Uh, Netflix has really done well since the Corona outbreak as a company and as providing content for its users. So it's great to see the stock really pushing up now. I have been watching this stock while it was kind of stable around the 460 zone, and since then it has pushed out of that resistance. So we're not going to be really looking at uh, placing resistance lower than this point, because if it does break out of this region, then we will have to reevaluate our thesis to reconsider the price action for Netflix for the next coming days if that does happen. So for now, we're going to be just sticking with these three crucial resistance lines. And if we do see some good price action, some good news, some good catalysts to really drive up the price for Netflix. Now, they did beat EPS by around 25%, which is great. I do expect the stock for Netflix to rally for today, and possibly continue that rally for the next couple of days or weeks to come if Netflix uh, just keeps pumping good news out. So for today's trading day, just because of its of the EPS estimation beat, I do expect Netflix to trade upwards, possibly testing now the high. I'm going to place this just a little bit lower at around $572, even though its high is the 593. But I would like to see it break out of this 572 dollar range, just for it to test new highs and hopefully consolidate over here. What a great company Netflix. It's if we look at its early days, it started trading at around 18 cents, and it's come a very long way since that time. Um, let's pull up some indicators. Let's see if we can bring up uh, volume is there. We can look a little bit at the volumes, like estimate of earnings of April 20th. Uh, I can I pull up the information from here? No, I can't. So let's go ahead, step a little bit back. Indicators. Let's throw up our RSI and our stochastic, just to give us a nice idea of how it's trading. So even though the stochastic is in the overbought, the RSI is kind of heading to the overbought, but possibly for today's trading day, we could probably see a small trail down in the stock price, and then possibly a nice wave up. Let's close these because we have sort of get an understanding of how it will. Usually, once stochastic and RSI go in the overbought territory, there is a slight retracement back downwards, depending on the news, any catalyst. Now the catalyst for Netflix is obviously its earnings. That's what we were looking at, and because of that, we still possibly, instead of seeing a downward price action, well, just because of that positive news, we could possibly see some nice price action, higher price action in Netflix's stock price. Let's go ahead and pull up some news. to see what sort of um, what sort of indications. Uh, sort of mixed news. New York Times: Netflix dominance starts to slow as rivals gain. We obviously Netflix is competing against Disney Plus and Amazon Prime, but Disney Plus seems to be in a very amazing situation because of the amount of rights it has and the amount of content it can provide its users. Majority of the latest content, especially with Marvel and all those companies, Star Wars, they all have been bought by Disney, giving them a great advantage in providing um, very a lot of content to its users, not just new content, but an immense amount of old content which they can still upload onto their platform. Netflix nears 400 million plus deal for Knives Out 2 and 3, Daniel Craig. So they are also investing in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows with very, very upscale actors, and they're willing to pay a lot of money for even shows that don't end up really doing well when they're streamed, or movies which have been flops. They've been able to purchase those rights just to put them onto Netflix, and people end up watching them. Now, one thing that I've noticed on Netflix is that you can still like, but you can't really leave comments and stuff, so people aren't able to read that information anymore from Netflix, which might be a upside just because it lets users keep testing content, whichever shows up on Netflix. The other news seems to be. Uh, let's go to all and see what we can sort of see. Right now it's just mainly content for Netflix. Let's see. Its last stock price was $549. Uh, so the latest news: Netflix subscriber growth slows after pandemic boom. Um, let's type in earnings and see what. So we are pretty clear that Netflix. So we beat the EPS quarter one surprise of 25.52%, which is amazing. Because EPS was missed in Q4, Q3, and Q2 of 2020, and seems as if the financials are doing better. Even though we sort of understand that once Netflix acquires all those users, then there will be a slowdown of the amount of users coming onto Netflix just because of how much of the market is capturing. And plus, there are no cancellation fees with Netflix, so you can just opt in for 1 month and then start trying out different platforms for watching your favorite TV shows. So there will always be some ups and downs with Netflix. Dramatic slowdown in subscribers, even though Netflix adds 3.98 million new subscribers in Q1, sharply missing expectations. Earnings report recap. So let's open up Yahoo Finance and see what this is all about. Netflix reported first quarter subscriber growth that came in sharply below expected, with user growth slowing down even more than anticipated following a record year. Oh, so even though they did acquire new users, it's a lot below the expectations of Netflix had put out. Uh, so there were paid subscriber additions plus 3.98 million versus the 6.29 million expected versus the 15.77 million new users expected for the year. So down by close to, what is this, 3.9, so around 4, so around 2.3 million subscriber. So their record was around 15.8 million new paying users in its first 3 months of 21-20. This also missed the company's own guidance from January for 6 million new subscribers for the first quarter. So that does not seem to be very good, and I think that could actually play out, even though the numbers are good. Just because it's missed their expectations, this will always be a catalyst for a downward direction in the price movement. So by just looking at the news, I can quickly reevaluate my thesis and suggest that just because of them not meeting their targets for Q1 of 2021. This could actually play out negatively for the stock. So we could so what my thesis, like just by reviewing just a few articles and seeing what they have to say about Netflix, we could possibly see a test of the low of the $540, and if we do break out of that, then we could possibly be even be testing the $500 price range, just because of this negative catalyst of how they are saying that Netflix subscribers has slowed down and will continue to slow down because of the competition, the new competition in the market with Disney Plus and Amazon Prime, and also because of just the accumulation of the already existing users of Netflix. Uh, I will. I have reanalyzed the thesis, and I do expect Netflix to trade lower for today's trading day. That seems to be the trend for majority of the stocks. Yesterday, stocks were also trading pretty much lower as well, coming down as well. So that trend will probably continue for the next couple of days, if not weeks. I am looking for some nice good news to come out eventually, just to give this bump up in the stock price of Netflix. Um, so hopefully you found this useful. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave any comments for any ticker symbols you want me to analyze, and I'll try to get those out ASAP. I try to keep my videos short as possible, just giving the right amount of information for individuals to just to know and to know themselves about what's really happening with some of these tickers. We will continue to watch Netflix and to probably reevaluate our thesis if it breaks out of this $502 price range. Then we would have to test the other lows for Netflix, but for now, we are going to just keep those four resistance lines just to see what happens with today's trading day, which I expect will be a lower trading day for Netflix, possibly bouncing off of this 540, if not possibly even the $500 range. So let's see what happens, and I'll keep you guys updated. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.